Hello, hello. How's it going? How the fuck is it going? You doing all right? Is that memento mori on your arm? Yes, it is. Okay. Good. Okay, awesome. We got 14 people. I think we can start. Okay. Well, now's the time to post your suggestions. Okay. You could have done that earlier if you wanted to, but now is fine. Okay. Just let me know what you want me to cover. Meditation and how it helps affect the laws of attraction. Okay. That's one. That's good. Other requests? Do we have other requests? Working on sensitivity to energy. Okay. Meditation to enter the astral and navigate. Okay. Yeah, let's pick all three of them. You know, because it all boils down to the same fucking process, always. Okay, so welcome. This is the official start. Meditation from the spirit. This is the official start of today's Unbounded Mind class on May. For you, it's May the 5th. Cinco de Mayo. I was partying today. Over here, it's already the 6th of May. And here's what it is about. The request was a law of attraction meditation. How are they connected? Okay, so let's first define a couple terms. What is the law of attraction? The law of attraction works like this. Okay, I'm going to make it as simple as possible without leaving out important parts. All the space around you is filled with different frequencies, energies. You could also call it alternative realities. Okay, and one of those frequencies represents what it is that you want to attract. Okay, so what you need to do is you need to attune your instrument to that frequency. Okay, which is your body. Your body is an instrument. A good metaphor, a helpful metaphor, is to really see yourself as a vessel of different energies. Okay? Which is not hard to do because you're 70% water. Right? All of us are. So water is very susceptible to the influence of different frequencies, right? Now, you got to be aware and cautious what frequencies you allow into your system and what you attune yourself to. Okay. Besides your conscious mind, you got the subconscious mind. Okay? The energies that you allow into your life through music, media, things that you consume, which includes food, but also mental food. Okay? Such as, information, videos, books, all of that could be seen as frequencies. Okay? You're downloading these frequencies into your subconscious mind. Okay? And if you're not cautious, if you're not really, really aware of what you're doing, you will download viruses. Okay? It's literally the equivalent of to a computer. Okay? You can't just download anything that is offered to you on the internet, right? If you're not cautious, those viruses that you unknowingly downloaded will destroy you. Okay, and they will create things in your life that you don't want. Okay, anything and everything in your life is a result of some sort of action. Okay, cause and effect. For whatever you're facing in your life right now, there was a cause. Okay, and you might not be aware of the exact cause, but there was a cause. You see what I mean? And if you're not aware of the frequencies, if you don't take care of what frequencies you allow into your life, you will cause problems for yourself, and eventually you will destroy yourself. And this is what most people do to a certain extent. Okay? So what do we need to do? We need to take control over our subconscious mind. Okay? How does that work? And how do you know if you're actually interacting with your subconscious mind? That's a big deal, and I understand that. It's really complicated if you're not clearly given something that you can work with. Now, first of all, understand that your subconscious mind is pretty much infinite. Okay, anything that ever came in contact with you is stored in some way or another. Okay, now what you attune yourself primarily towards will be represented in terms of images and thought patterns. Okay, what does that mean? You're in a good mood. Okay, that is represented through generally speaking, high frequency, okay? Fast frequency, positive emotions. But more than that, you will have imagery in your mind that is positive, that is beneficial. You will see images that represent good energy. Okay? What then happens is these images run through your mind, and your emotions, the chemicals in your system, will kick in, trying to enable you to feel the content of those images. Okay? Let me say that again. Your mind consists of images, emotions, a self-talk. Okay? And let's stick with those three. That's complicated enough. Okay? And what you want to do is you want to align all three of those. Okay? You want to align your internal images with your emotions and your self-talk. Okay? And as you do that, you bring your whole system together and streamline it, and then you will attract what it is that you want. That's the law of attraction. Okay, very simple. We don't only have one brain, we have multiple brains. Okay, we have a rational part, which is what most people identify with. Okay? Obviously, that's not running the show, because otherwise everybody wouldn't have any problem. Okay, you got an emotional brain, okay, that represents what you feel. You got a physical brain that represents what's going on in your physical body. You got a social brain that is occupied with what's going on in your social life. You see, now the key human condition, the problem, and what in a lot of ways defines the human condition is that internal conflict between those different parts. Okay, the average human being is at war with themselves. Okay, consciously they want something, their emotions want something else, and all other parts are, they're in a tug of war. Okay, and that's why people feel that tension internally. They feel tension. Okay, consciously they make a decision. As soon as they walk towards it or go for it, something within them will stop them. Okay, and they will blame it on the outside world, but it's usually not the outside world. It's something inside of them that is not aligned with their goals. Okay, so the key, and I don't know if you noticed, but I'm giving you the secret to life here. Okay, the key to changing or applying the law of attraction is aligning images, internal images, your emotions, your self-talk, your thoughts, okay, your subconscious mind. The content of the subconscious mind needs to be aligned with the conscious desires that you have. That's it. Okay? Very simple. I'll tell you what you want is here, specific frequency. Okay? your subconscious mind. Let's say your conscious will is here, okay? That's a specific frequency. Your emotions, your self-talk, the images that you hold in your mind are here. How is that ever going to work? It's not going to work. You've got to bridge that gap, okay? So it starts with internally changing your processes to get here. Okay, and this is then the law of attraction. How is that going to work? How is that going to work? Now, when we look at the occult forces, you're actually working with frequency, energy, and all that stuff that is not visible and you can't really touch. It's not tangible. Okay, but how will it play out in your life in concrete terms, like meaning physically? Okay, actually physical events. You're going to walk through the world. You will be aligned. Okay, so your thoughts, your imagery, the self-talk is all going to be streamlined, and then you're going to have external experiences that match that. Somebody's going to strike up a conversation with you with the exact information that you need right now in order to make that happen. What it is that you wanted, okay? You go to a bookstore, you're going to drop a fucking book. And you pick up the book, and what has been opened is the exact page with the exact information that you need in order to make this stuff happen. And we'll feel as if the universe is conspiring on your behalf. You'll receive an email. An old friend will contact you. And he's like, man, I have this project going on, and for some fucking reason I was thinking about you, okay? You will attract the right people. It's all energy, man. It's frequency. Everybody's vibrating at some sort of energy, okay? There's some sort of frequency, okay? Now, here's a warning. A lot of people will leave you, okay? Which is good. Which is good. You shouldn't be with those people, okay? A lot of people have a false sense of loyalty. Some people you need to let go. Okay, some people just need to let go. They're not on the right frequency anymore. Okay, you got to protect your consciousness. You got to protect your energy. You got to that has to be a fortress. You can only let in what serves you, what benefits you, in a lot of ways. Okay. Now, loyalty is good, but you can't have a false sense of loyalty to the extent that you hurt yourself, that you compromise your own survival. Not a good idea. It's not good. There's no scarcity of people, no scarcity of opportunities. There's no scarcity of money. There's nothing is scarce. Understand that, okay? Scarcity is an illusion. It's a concept that is being used to destroy you and to control you. Okay? Please get that. That's one of the biggest control mechanisms. Scarcity. How is something scarce? Everything comes out of the invisible. Okay? Everything comes out of the invisible. If you control your emotions, your energies, your subconscious, in essence, you can create anything. You can create opportunities. You can create experiences. You can create whatever. Like to the point where when you sit somewhere in a social venue, in a social environment, and you would like to talk to somebody, or you would like to have a specific experience. Guess what you could do? You could close your eyes and create that experience internally. And when your system is powerful enough, when your transmitter is powerful enough, which happens over time through training, it's a natural development, which is in magic we call that building up your energy body, your astral body of light. Okay, you sit there, you create that experience. Okay, see it like waves being sent out. Okay, like shock waves in the astral. And what's going to return to you as a response from the universe, is that experience. Okay, so somebody's going to sit there, or come sit down there, and be very open to have that conversation with you. Okay, and all of a sudden you end up in a fucking hotel room and fuck the shit out of this girl. Like that's one possibility. Maybe you just want to have a smart and really intellectual discussion with. All right. Anyways, I digress. So this is applied law of attraction, okay? And how can meditation be applied when it comes to that? Meditation in a lot of ways is creating a connection between conscious mind and subconscious mind. Okay? Aligning them. Realigning them. Okay? Right now, I guarantee you, if you feel any amount of tension inside of yourself, not all parts within you are aligned. Okay? That's the only reason why. That's the only reason why. And, you know, I'm not blaming you, because that's the human condition. It happens all the fucking time. Me included, all the time. Okay? Some part will be misaligned with whatever. But once you know how to realign them, that's not a big deal. It's not a problem, because you can then use that to create the things that you want, do the things you want, get yourself to do the things that you want. And then you come back to a normal state again, which is just fine. But the key is this: once you know how that works, your life's going to be a lot easier. Okay, you're going to actually feel like you're in control of yourself. Okay, you're not going to feel like a stranger in your own body anymore, which is what most people experience. You know, they will feel as if things are not going their way. It's almost as if somebody else is running the show. Their life is out of their control. Okay, it's not. You just have to know how to align things. Okay, meditation automatically gets you in contact with your subconscious mind. Okay, when you're in a relaxed state and in a trance, and you're like feeling your energy, you have images running through your mind already. That's already your subconscious mind, you see. These random images that you see, that is your subconscious mind. That's part of your subconscious mind. Okay. Now what you need to do is you need to choose one channel, okay? One channel to affect the images, to affect your emotions, and to affect your self-talk, okay? Now, with practice, you will find your own preferred channel, okay? Where I usually work with pure intention, okay? I don't even care about those channels. I just go into that meditation and focus my intention. But that's something that usually takes a lot of practice. What you could also do is you could just use your self-talk, which is using a specific affirmation, the shorter the better, that represents what it is that you want. Okay? And as you're in contact with your subconscious mind, you just keep repeating that affirmation. You just keep repeating it. You just keep repeating it over and over and over again. Okay, what you will then see, which might take 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes. It really depends. Okay, there's no general rule, but with 10 minutes, 15 minutes, you're also gonna that covers 90% of all things that you might want to do. Okay, so it rarely ever takes longer than that. Okay, but here's what you should do. You go into a trance, a meditative state, and then you keep repeating that affirmation. What you're going to see is that first your images are going to adjust. Why? Images. Those images are connected to the mental plane. Okay. It's a mental plane, and changing something in the mental plane is the easiest. Why? It takes the least amount of energy and the least amount of momentum to change the internal imagery. This is also why the media uses images more than anything else to affect the mass consciousness. Okay, that's also why symbols are extremely important in magic. Okay, they trigger a change on the mental plane first. Okay, now the only difference between what exists in the mental plane and the emotional plane, which is also the astral, or the plane of desire, that's what it's also called, is the amount of energy that has been put into it. Okay? When you focus on something, you energize it. Okay? What does that mean? You pick that affirmation, you keep thinking it, and you keep repeating it. Your imagery, your internal images are going to shift at one point. After, say, for the sake of this explanation, let's say 2 minutes, okay? Your internal imagery begins to align itself with that affirmation, okay? Now you have to keep going. You have to keep going. Why? Because you want to condense that image down into an emotion. Okay, and what did I say before? Once you got images running through your mind, your body will use chemicals to enable you to feel the content of those images. Okay, so you have to keep going, and your emotions will adjust. Okay, you will feel what it will be like once that has come about. Okay, and then you still got to keep going. You still got to keep going until you feel actual physical responses. Okay, now you will usually feel that in the area of your root chakra. Okay, which is already like, you see how all of that is connected. Okay, this is okay here. Imagery, mental plane, third eye. Okay, you energize it, you keep energizing it, comes down into the level of emotions, which is here, and your solar plexus. Okay, and you still keep going, and it comes even further down until you feel it in your root chakra. Okay, and at that point, you won't feel any internal conflict anymore, and you will feel as if it has already happened. Okay. And at that point, you will have no problem attracting it. That's number one. Number two, you will actually be able to do the footwork. What I mean, what needs to be done in the physical, because sometimes that is necessary. You need to do something in the physical in order to facilitate the manifestation of that stuff, right? So, before we go into the meditation, quick recap. The mind begins with images, mental plane, the most subtle level or layer of your mind, images. As you keep focusing on that image, emotions are being triggered. Okay? And as you keep focusing on that, you will also affect lower levels in that, meaning you will anchor it here. Okay, what they also say in what we say in magic is sigils become flesh. Okay, this is also what we mean by that. Let me see that. Okay, and when sigils have become flesh, you have anchored them here. Now, once you have done that, a whole new world has opened up to you, okay? Because you will actually be in control over your subconscious mind. And man, that's a game changer, I'm telling you. It's a game changer. A lot of you have already experienced that, I'm sure, okay? But it is really a game changer. And if you haven't really experienced that yet, you just haven't done it enough. It really works. So for you, the task right now is to pick a goal. Okay. And if you don't want to pick a goal, pick a specific experience. Okay. Specific experience that you want to have. Okay. It could be anything really. Okay. Nothing you're going to do tomorrow, whatever. There are no limitations. Okay. You could literally be like, I want to be at an exotic beach or something like that. That would be an actual experience that you can create now, or let your subconscious mind create. Okay, it's really just about exploring that mechanism. Okay, so whatever the fuck you want to experience right now, just pick that experience. Okay, I'll give you a couple seconds. Okay. All right. So you pick that. Okay. Well, let's go into the meditation. And this is going to be very, very simple. You'll see. Okay. So just create an affirmation that is as short as possible out of that experience that you want to have. And I'm gonna pick. I am on an exotic beach. That's literally what I'm gonna do. Okay. I am on an exotic beach. Okay. I am on an exotic beach. Okay. So allow your eyes to close and take on your asana. Take on your asana. Okay, become aware of your body. And just, tune in top to bottom. Face, neck and throat, shoulders, back, stomach, hips, arms, forearms. Let go. Just let go. Aware of your thighs, let go. Your knees, let go. Calves, let go. Your ankles, let go. Feet, bottom of your feet, toes, your hands, fingers. And just observe the breath, let it come and go as it wants to. Okay? Okay. Now, just realize what image or images are running through your mind. Okay? Just pay attention. Could be anything, really. Okay? So understand that this is where your mental body, what your mental body is tuned into right now. Okay? These images are representation of a specific frequency. Your mental body, your mental part is tuned into that right now. Just fine. Okay? So all you need to do right now is use your self-talk. Okay? I mean, like what you think over and over again to change that. Okay? But you don't even have to intend to change it. Just think that affirmation. That's it. Just think that affirmation over and over and over and over and over again. Okay? So start now. Keep thinking it. Keep thinking it. Keep thinking it. And for some of you already, the images that you're seeing are getting closer and closer and closer to that. Okay? Just fine. You just have to keep going. And if you don't see that clearly yet, doesn't matter. Just keep thinking. Just keep thinking. Sooner or later it will happen. Just keep thinking that. And relax yourself and keep thinking that. Okay. And now for some of you, your emotions or what you feel in your tummy and your heart area is already changing to make that more real, so it becomes actually more real to you. Okay, so your emotions kick in to allow you to feel the content of these images, and in a lot of ways that creates and that puts you into that scenery already. Some of you see yourself from the outside. That's fine. That's also fine. It's a possibility. Some of you will actually see a scenery around you, you being inside of it, or you will see it from a third person perspective. No problem. The point is you're beginning to feel the content of these images. Okay? Just keep going with the affirmation. Keep going. Think it. Okay, and when the astral level, meaning your like emotional body has adjusted, it will go even further, deeper into your chi body, and this is also where your sexual energy is stored. Okay, and you will feel responses there, just fine. And if you don't feel it, like if you can't locate it there, that's fine too. Okay, just notice the shifts in your energy. That's really the whole deal here. Okay, keep thinking that affirmation. And that amount of time is sufficient to show you the shifts, okay? On a count of 3, open your eyes, come back, and listen. Okay, 1, 2, 3, open your eyes. Okay, now, for me, this time was sufficient to create that experience 100%. But I've been doing this for a long time, okay? For some of you, it will not have been a sufficient amount of time to really create that experience, but you will have seen the shifts, all of you, okay? You will have at least seen the adjustment of your inner images to the affirmation, right? All you need to do at that point, all you need to do is just to keep going with that affirmation. You will condense it down from the mental into the astral or emotional, and even further down where you hit the chi level, okay? And you will actually have that internal experience, okay? Now you have to understand that you are charging a thought form as you do that, okay? This is important to know. You are charging an actual thought form. On the other plane, on the other planes, in the spiritual, in other dimensions, other layers of reality, this is actually real, what you just created. Now, why doesn't just a beach appear around me right now? Since I've just been there. I have just, it was actually quite a phenomenal experience, okay? Because it's unlikely, okay? Unlikely doesn't mean impossible, okay? If my system could generate enough energy right now, the sand around me would actually appear. I would see the water, beautiful blue water. I would see the sun would appear around me and all of that. Now, and if you are clairvoyant, you could have seen that around me, okay? But it's on a more subtle level. So it's very unlikely that I will just walk out and all of a sudden I'm in fucking Germany, okay? This is not some exotic climate or tropical climate. So it's very unlikely that I'll just step out a door and I'll be surrounded by a beach. But something more likely, meeting a specific person, having a specific amount of money coming to me, making a lot of things happen that are more probable than that. Piece of cake. Very simple, very easy, okay? So this is the law of attraction. This is the law of attraction. Okay? This is how you use it, this is how you work it, and like I said, it's to a large extent that's a secret to life. Okay? It's not the secret to magic, but it's a big part of it, and it's a secret to life, essentially. Okay? It's a connection between mind, emotions, body, spiritual, and the physical. You are the connector. You are the intermediary. Okay? And this is what it means to be spiritual. Okay? To be spiritual doesn't mean that you can recite the fucking Tao Te Ching or whatever the fuck people come up with. Okay? Being spiritual doesn't mean you're a fucking yogi. Being spiritual means understanding the connection between the unseen and the physical and how to bring something out of the unseen into the physical. This is spiritual. This is spirituality. Okay? It's not being religious. Now, how do you expand and extend your power? This is where witchcraft comes into play. Witchcraft is a technology that is based on what I just described, okay, on those laws. And then you do what I just described on steroids. You make allies on the other side that control what is going on here. You see, everything comes out of the unseen, out of the invisible. And there are way more intelligent, way more powerful beings that never even had a body. Don't need a body, don't want a fucking body. But they control this game, you see? So the next step after this will be magic, okay? So I guess I said everything I wanted to say. Okay. And now it is question time. Okay? So please post your questions. Okay. Okay. All right. Remember that. Remember that. Remember that. How would you generate more energy? Okay. How would you generate more energy? You got to be a better conductor of that. Okay. Better conductor of that, meaning that means getting rid of toxins, as many toxins as you can, and practice. Okay. Astral bodybuilding. Okay, you got to work out your energy body in order for it to become stronger and to grow. Literally. Okay. Physically, I'm a little bit above average. Okay. But you don't see that. But I'm actually pretty big. Okay, you don't see that. You know, just so you know, I'm 6'4", 220 pounds. Okay, so I'm not a meager guy, but my astral body, my energy body, the fucking Hulk, I'm telling you. Okay, and how does that work? You just work it. You use it, really. Okay, most people don't. Here's what most people's energy bodies look like. Okay, mind you, they never meditate. They have zero control over their thoughts. They never banish. None of that shit. You know. So it's essentially a big dump. Okay. It's really really weak. Okay. But you, by practicing, you know, using it, you'll get more and more powerful. That's how you generate more energy. If you're working with a spirit and they need you to generate more power, will they get rid of toxins? No, that's your job. That's your job. In you, I need bad habits. No, you need to do that. Are the images you imagine during meditations extremely clear for you at this point in your journey? Yes. Yeah. They're like a memory that I actually had, but it's self-created. But let's say I had an actual experience in the physical world, and I recall it. That's the clarity of the image that you need. Okay? And by focusing on it, you make it even more real. Okay, more real. You'll see with some practice, you will see that the things that you can experience in the subtle worlds are more real than what you experience in the physical world. Okay, time to play a big part of manifestation. Does time play in your favor as you get better in your practice, or is it still according to the law? Um, you know, what is time? Okay, let's define time. Okay. What is that thing? Okay. It's not that linear thing That we experience we experience time as that, okay, as a linear objective thing. It's not objective, okay. Time is nothing objective, okay. It's not just something like psychological, where okay, yeah, for somebody a boring movie is extremely long, and for the other person who's really interested, oh man, that was really short. No, I'm not just talking about psychological time. I'm talking about actual time, physical time. It's not an objective. It's not an objective factor, okay? It's intimately tied with physical matter, with the physical universe, and the space-time continuum. That's what it's called, space-time continuum, okay? So time only exists in relation to matter, okay? In fact, it's about objects moving through space. That's how time is defined. There's no other way to define time, okay? Velocity. An object takes a certain amount of time to go from here to there, okay? That's the only way to measure time. Objects moving through space, velocity, okay? What am I saying here? When you go beyond the physical, which is what you're doing here, time is a little bit, becomes really irrelevant. What does that mean? You can use this, what we just did, to affect the past, for instance, okay? Past is not something objective, okay? It's not something objective. Even if you think about historical events, that's not actually what happened. It's a manipulation through mass consciousness, okay? Somebody came up with an official version of the certain historical events, and they became what is stored in the mass consciousness, you know? Okay? So if there was a way to manipulate mass consciousness in a different way, into a different direction, these events wouldn't be remembered. And if they aren't remembered, did they really happen? You know what I mean? I mean, how many ancient cultures existed on this planet? Nobody remembers them, so they have zero effect on the present time. Do you understand? Does that make sense? Even events in your own past. Okay? If you went into this meditative state and changed the energy around it, okay? So you reframe it, and you can generate enough energy, you can change the perception of people, and they will actually remember it differently. All of this happens in their own subconscious, okay? They will remember it differently. Now, time is really, that's a tricky thing, but I've done a lot of experiments when it comes to that. And yes, you can definitely affect the past to a certain extent, okay? Not completely. Well, who knows where the limits are? Okay, I'm one guy, I'm one person. Okay, I'm an extremely powerful individual, but still I'm not omnipotent. You know, I don't think it's impossible, but you can do with enough energy. If you put in enough effort, you can do some crazy shit. Okay, believe me. And I understand that what you're asking me is if you can expedite the manifestation of something. Yes, absolutely. What you need is more energy. That's really the answer. That's really the answer. Okay? The more energy you can put into the visualization, the more likely and the quicker it will come about. Okay. What consciousness exists without time? Yes, consciousness is separate from that. Yes. What's the complete order of planes densities from source to the physical? You got different models for that, you know. Different models. You know, what we're really talking about here is densities and frequencies, right? But different schools of thought, different systems have created different categories for different planes, if that makes sense. Okay, so let's say the tree of life, for instance. Okay, you got Malkuth, and you got a bunch of levels in between. You know, a layer where the archangels live, and beyond that you get the cherubim, and then at one point you meet the creator, the Godhead, okay? Which is where everything merges into one, where everything comes from. Okay, Malkuth is the lowest, which is the physical. This is where humans live. Now, is that accurate? It's a working model. It's there are others too. Personally, I like the Hindu system very much, because it's very accurate when it comes to that. It's workable, the most workable for me. Okay, the runes. Okay, the Nordic system, they use 9 worlds to describe all of existence. Okay, others, the shamanic system would use 3 worlds. 3. And what the only difference between those systems is that, let's say, 3 worlds just contain more frequencies than, let's say, the Tree of Life, where you got all of these different spheres. But what they represent are what these spheres on the Tree of Life represent are specific frequencies. Okay, and they're of course connected to a specific experience of reality. Okay, but what it all boils down to is we're here in the most dense layer of reality, which is physical matter. When you go beyond that, you go into more and more depersonalized experiences, meaning ego dissolves and you merge with everything there is, okay? So you are God, not in the sense of fucking Thor or whatever else people consider gods, okay? You're God in terms of consciousness and everything else. So am I, and then your fucking puppy dog, maybe. Whatever you got as a pet. All of that is one thing. Everything is one thing. Everything comes from one thing, one being. And it's having, and part of that game is individualized consciousness having physical experiences and learning what it actually is again. You mentioned one-time vibration of having it same as not wanting it anymore. How does that principle work when you're trying to manifest your desire? Can you elaborate a little bit on that? Yes. Let's say I'm here in fucking rainy and cloudy Germany. Okay. I would very much desire to be on an exotic beach. Okay. I would love to be at an exotic beach right now. Because it's warm, it's sunny, maybe some hot girls are walking by. Who knows? Okay. It's a desire. It's something I would like to experience. I'm aware that I'm not there. Understand? I'm aware that I'm here. But I would like to experience that. When you visualize correctly, you will be there. So there's no desire to be there anymore. You're there. You see what I mean? It's not that you don't enjoy it. It's not that you don't like it. It's you're there. You see? There's no disconnect between subject and object. That's what I'm talking about. Okay? Does it make sense? A good representation of completion of this condensing down process or law of attraction would be no more internal resistance to the outcome, the same as our rituals, right? Yeah. And also refer to what I just said before. Okay. I guess that's it. And I think this was an amazing class, as usual. Okay. And, yeah. Go out, guys. Give me testimonials. Let the world know how I transform lives and spill out the secrets to existence. Really. Okay. Talk soon. Be well.